All right, let me bring on my rotary dial party panel. Tonight, it's Katherine Timpf, National Review online reporter and correspondent for the Great Gutfeld Show on the Fox News Channel. Comedian Jimmy Failla is here in a beautiful light blue satin tie. He's dressed up for the occasion. And Democratic strategist Stephen Sigmund also joining the threesome here at the Plexiglass Oval. All right, party panel, welcome to it.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, we are not in the clear yet on the 2016 election. Should we brace ourselves for some surprises? Kat, I will start with you. I watched that celebrity PSA video and I was almost swayed. How important are celebrities, Kat?
They're very important to themselves and to each other. They're the only people that they talk to only each other. So nobody, like you said, nobody listened to them before. Nobody's listened to them now. Donald Trump's going to be the president. Could you imagine if it was the other way around and, you know, people were doing that against Hillary? They'd be trying to throw people in jail over that. They'd be trying to, you know, racist, sexist, gotta go to jail.
End of the world.
End of the world. Haven't most people moved on? I mean, I know people are still pretty upset.
Emotionally stable people have.
This is part of the reason they lost. They are out of touch with what people care about. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to make a difference in society, Democratic Party, do a mannequin challenge, address the shortage of Hatchimals at the mall. I think that's a bigger issue to the American voter.
These guys are right. I mean, look,
it's humiliating.
you make
Stephen, why are they doing this?
Maybe for them. Who knows?
They're supposed to be her friends.
It's not going to change the outcome. There may be a few less electors.
Who thinks this is going to work, by the way?
I have no idea.
Nobody.
I mean, does Mike Farrell really think, like, all we have to do, like, I just have to flap my gums in my claptrap?
He probably feels like he ought to talk about it. But look, in the end, the only thing it's going to do is maybe there'll be a couple less electors, right? And it might move Trump from being, you know, 46th most electoral votes to 48th out of 56 in his landslide election.
I know, right? I do want to defend this video, though, because those were some of the finest Uber drivers in our country right now. Those are talented people.
I don't know. Those of us who grew up in the 80s, that was a pretty nice
that's the issue. That would have been a moving video in the 80s.
Exactly.
Who booked that? Was Chumbawamba busy? Why would they not do that?
Mondale may still get elected.
That's well, God rest his soul as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, there are many people in that video who are no longer with us.
So
in more ways than one.
Speaking of that, though, I'm sorry to jump in, but this is what's disgraceful about the Democrats. They've become those people that are preying on a terminally ill patient by selling them elixirs that that won't work.
It's like it's like Andy Kaufman going to Mexico or Thailand, wherever he went to get that.
All right, the recount didn't
psychic
work,
surgery.
but I got this guy in the Electoral College. He's a little weird.
Look, this notion.
We'll send Jill Stein to do it. We'll have Jill Stein do it. She'll have a recount in Florida, in Miami, in Wisconsin, in Minnesota, and it's going to be great.
The notion the electors are getting attacked is
well, maybe that's not a big deal to you, but if you're a woman, an older woman in Arizona, and people are saying, "I'm going to kill your dog,"
it's not. I'm saying it's not a big deal. What I'm saying is, of course, it's a big deal. What I'm saying,
apparently, wow, that's a bold stance.
Is that Republicans should look in a mirror, right? I mean, these guys. You have a segment.
I'm a libertarian.
You have a
that means I'm a political vampire. I don't even show up in the mirror.
Of the Trump electorate who goes out and says the most vile things to people, including, by the way,
the dog keeps barking.
This is an important point, including sending to a Jewish newspaper reporter that they are pre-baking the ovens.
All right,
so that's
awful. Well, that's not okay.
Yeah, I'm not for that.
No one's taking they're for ovens? No. God. Okay, a major battle brewing between the outgoing Obama administration and the incoming Trump team over Russian hackers in the 2016 election. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest accusing Trump of knowingly benefiting from Russian hacking designed to destabilize the presidency. Josh?
But Mr. Trump obviously knew that Russia was engaged in malicious cyber activity that was helping him and hurting Secretary Clinton's campaign. And again, these are all facts that are not in dispute.
Trump responded to the allegations by tweeting, if Russia or some other entity was hacking, why did the White House wait so long to act? Why did they only complain after Hillary lost? Is Obama undermining his successor? Or did Trump delegitimize the presidency in order to win it? Jimmy, it wouldn't matter if it was Russians or bored 15-year-olds, would it?
That's the point. It could have been the Energizer, Bill's side chick. It could have been the guy who puts the hot sauce in her purse every morning. The point is not who hacked the emails, it's what was in it. You know, that's the part I don't get. It's like, if you were to leave here today, get so drunk that you punch a police horse, and then feed that the issue was,
need to get drunk.
Yeah, but it's a Russian horse. You know, it doesn't matter. The point is, you punch the horse, you've got to own your actions. And this idea that they can't fathom that someone that 68% of the people didn't trust could lose on the level is like sociopathic. It's crazy to me.
Kat?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, especially because if you're going to say that's the only reason, even these leads that she lost, that's just insane. She lost because she's not good at being a candidate, because the things that were in this email just confirmed everything that we already believed about her.
Yeah.
And, you know, people, they hacked it or it was leaked, it doesn't matter. The information's still the same.
Jennifer Palmieri, her campaign, I don't even know if she's a communications director. Thank you very much. She said that it was the Comey moment. It was on October 28th when Comey came forward and said, we're continuing with the investigation. And she said that that was the moment that galvanized just enough hatred against her so people voted against her or voted Trump. That was a pivotal point in the election. That had nothing to do with Russians.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right, I mean,
so which is it? You can't have it both ways.
From my perspective, it was a lot of those things, right?
Yeah.
And in part, it was her fault because she was not a great candidate. But look, it's not so much that it's about the Russians. It's Donald Trump trying to create his own reality, right? The facts here are, the fact pattern is clearly that it was the Russians, because it was about, you know, from Fuzzy Bear and Carrie Bear and whatever, Fozzie Bear, that are
what about Craig Murray, the former ambassador to Uzbekistan, and said, no, I got him from a Democratic operative.
That's one person, and when you actually go through the litany of reporting on this, it's very clear who it's from. But look, when Trump tries to create his own reality, the problem with that is that ultimately, down the line, what happens, right?
We all do that.
When the Russians are... No, they don't all
Hillary
do that.
Clinton
They don't all decide what their own facts... They don't all decide what their own facts
She created this. That's all she does.
When there's something like this...
That's all she does. If you take her statements and compare them with James Comey...
He is no longer a candidate.
Yeah,
he needs to start acting like the president of the United States.
That Hillary Clinton did the entire
sure you can,
time.
Because now he's
not unless you're honest enough to say they both did it.
Because now he's president of the United States.
He's not yet.
He's about to be, and it's very
not about watching you say electors out that way.
Started acting like it instead of tweeting constantly at things that he doesn't like. Maybe he'd have more than a 40% approval rating going into being president, which is the lowest of all.
And what would she have had? 38?
Yeah, she clearly did worse.
You guys are still running against Hillary Clinton, for God's sake.
I didn't vote for either of them. I was going to be disappointed either way,
Stop
Stephen.
talking about Hillary Clinton.
Oh, I would if her operatives would just be quiet.
Operatives?
And let everyone...
Mike
B.D. Wong?
Yes.
And B.D. Wong are her operatives now?
Yes.
BJ
Yes.
Honeycutt and Loretta
Swift. Jill
Perry.
Stein, Katy Perry,
B.D. Wong.
and her
There's that new video coming out by the surviving members of the Village People.
Right, exactly.
Both of them.
Exactly.
All right, well, the party panel returns a little bit later. Let's see if we can keep it hot. Donald Trump may be irritated to find out he's not the most powerful person in the world, at least according to Forbes. We'll tell you who is.
A man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
Oh, look at that. Kanye. All right, there's a new most powerful man in the world. And no, it's not Jimmy Failla. According to Forbes magazine, this year's big cheese is Russian President Vladimir Putin. Oh, look at that podium. President-elect Donald Trump in second place, followed by German Chancellor Angela Merkel. And President Obama, all the way down at number 48. Quack, lame duck quack. Even below Kim Jong-un, who was number 43. And it's easy to see why Vladimir Putin is number 1. Look how ruggedly muscular and handsome he is on horseback. He can commandeer a horse as easily as he can rig an election. The party panel is back. Kat Timpf, Jimmy Failla, and Stephen Sigmund. So what do you make of this, of Donald Trump not being the most powerful person in the world? And does Russia now officially become a foe?
Yeah, I think Vladimir Putin better look out now, right?
Yeah.
The Twitter storm that's going to hit him is pretty serious.
He's going to switch his Secretary of State pick to John Bolton.
Right, exactly. Donald Trump doesn't like losing to anybody, for God's sake. And the most important thing for him to do right now is to go out and attack Vladimir Putin.
Yeah,
on
attack
Twitter.
him with his bare hands?
No, with his Twitter feed.
With his
much more
bare
powerful
thumbs?
bare thumbs.
Yeah, I think he's probably more clever than Vladimir Putin. What does it take to be the most powerful man in the world?
Well, I would say this. I mean, if you read the metrics of the survey, it didn't factor in Twitter followers or who's building as the best taco bowl. So I kind of felt like that delegitimized the whole thing.
That's fair.
This whole thing is rigged.
Yeah, they didn't incorporate the Kanye endorsement.
Bernie Sanders was right.
Oh, the whole thing. It's a rigged system. Yeah, the whole thing.
How does Forbes know anything?
Yeah.
Power.
I mean, they're obviously a tool of the Russian state.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Power, like the most powerful people are the ones that you don't think have any power, and they're kind of maybe closer to a powerful person, and they're kind of quiet and on the sidelines.
Like Huma Abedin.
Yeah, and you
maybe
tell them
she's the most powerful
in the
person
world. Yeah, you tell them stuff, and people don't think they have these secrets, and they keep them quiet. That's a powerful person. Nobody's telling Donald Trump their secrets, I don't think.
I heard he's giving an interview to Donald Trump tonight where he says that Forbes is just a plant by the Democrats to delegitimize his election.
I like that they're a tool of the Russian state better. Yeah. I'm gonna go with mine. No offense. No offense, but Steve Forbes ran for president at one point, and he won. He would have won if we weren't living in such a rigged wonderland that used to be the United States of America.
We didn't count those
United
votes.
States of rigged.
That whole vote counting thing.
Well, be nice to your pilots when you fly this season, because some of them are not flying very high, and I'll tell you why. A lot of them are very depressed, even suicidal, according to a new survey. 13% of the pilots who keep us from plummeting to a horrible and fiery death are so depressed and not seeking help. They've got fears that they'll have negative career consequences if they actually come forward and admit to their mental infirmities. This is great. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow, so this is perfect news, Jimmy.
Does it make you happy?
It really does.
I didn't realize how many pilots were Hillary voters. Yeah, and I do want to say, like, yeah, suicide is not a joke. If you or someone you know,
not at all.
If you or someone you know is a New York Jets fan, get help immediately. But this is why I take Spirit Airlines, because they will let you fly the plane.
Wasn't it fun watching that Jets-Browns game earlier?
Oh my God! How about the tickets to that game? It was 20 to get in and 50 to get out. That was depressing, man. That was embarrassing.
Amazing.
I've never sat on a plane, but I don't think they let you take Xanax before you fly it. So that might make a difference. I have no idea what it would be like.
They may not let you, but I think a lot of them do something like that.
So 13%, I mean, that's a pretty high number. Do you think that reflects society as a whole, or is there something particularly depressing about being a pilot?
I don't know. I haven't asked.
You seem like a happy guy.
I haven't asked a pilot. I mean, I feel terribly for the pilots that feel that way.
I think next time you get on the plane.
I'm very hopeful that I'm never on a plane with one of them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think next time you get on, you should have your own Stephen Sigmund personal outreach moment.
Right.
Where you go into the cockpit.
Right, the doctor is in, 5 cents.
Exactly. Whenever I get on a plane, if the cockpit door is open, I always lean in and say, we're all counting on you. Good luck.
I do the opposite. Like, no one likes to admit this, but when I get on a plane, I am vetting every passenger on that plane. Like, I am Homeland Security on that plane.
You're the Wesley Snipes of the civilian world.
I vaped under a blanket on the plane, and I keep it in my lungs really long. So if people saw smoke coming out from under a blanket, they probably would make a real big deal about that.
You vaped on a plane?
Yeah, vaped on a plane.
That's known as the Mile Low Club.
Yeah, exactly. It's known as I mean, can I get in trouble for that?
No.
No, not at all.
Now,
no, I think it's great.
Yeah,
I think vaping is much better than smoking.
Yeah, me too.
I had a guy smoke on a plane.
Really?
Yeah.
Cigarettes, just
cigarettes. Went in the back of the plane because they cut him off in first class. He went all the way to the back of the plane. They wouldn't give him any more alcohol, so he went in the bathroom and smoked. And then he came out with a full water bottle and threw it at a man's head and called him the N-word.
Sounds like a party.
And he now has a cabinet position.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And that man's name is Mike Pompeo.
What a guy.
All right, well, you guys, thank you so much. Stephen, Jimmy, and Kat. And something very exciting, Jimmy Failla, one of the stars of the Kennedy Party Panel, has a 1-hour stand-up special called State of the Union. It's going to start streaming on Amazon Prime and Instant Video Monday, December 19th. It's also available for sale or rent to non-Prime members. We love Jimmy. Here's a sneak peek.
You guys.
I read this study today. It says 40% of elementary school kids are obese, and they're not doing anything about it because they don't know they're obese. Yeah, that's what happens when you eliminate bullying.
So true. Well done, Jimmy.
Thank you, Kate.
I can't wait to see the whole special. I'm going to have my popcorn.
Did it for you.
Just to try to get obese so I can play along. All right, coming up, Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. He's joining me to talk about his new album and his take on a Trump White House. Look at that hair. So glorious. Please stay right here.